So one more thing that we also believe is, accessibility is not only certain group of people. It can also be that I'm inaccessible due to my technology constraints, or technical constraints. Some technical issue happened with my machine and my speaker is not working. Okay, at that time, I am as good as I cannot hear anything that's happening, right? So at that time, I am also inaccessible to the website. Okay, for example, my keyboard or my mouse is not working for some reason. So again, I'm inaccessible through my mouse. So we have to also understand those points. It's not only about certain people, it's also about, what if there is technical glitch that happened, but is your site still accessible to them or not? So this is a little broader picture on what accessibility actually covers as well. Apart from that, there are various articles. Every good product will put accessible articles of theirs online, and I would really recommend that. Then there are, I mean, I don't think that you have to actually go to a paid course, but there are articles and courses available which are free of cost. There's a very well defined W3 CAG document that's available online, and from the W3 CAG organization itself, and you can visit that, and it's very detailed about each of the points that they have mentioned, what are the accessibility rules and what are the details that they have. And in terms of what is it, a design effort, is it a development effort, everything is mentioned there very efficiently. So I would suggest you can start off with that. Later on, there are many international certifications that you can do to be accessibility auditor or evaluator. So you can the later step you can do that, but first it is very important to understand what is accessibility firstly, and then to do your own research, because with just one term you'll get a lot of things. So yeah, what types of accessibility exists is, there are people who have hearing disability. Again, this is not totally deaf, but sometimes people have hard of hearing. I mean, there's some aspect of it that they cannot hear. Similarly, in visual impairments as well, there are people who are completely blind. There are people who are, color blind. There are people who can only see grayscale. So there are different levels of these disabilities that happen. Now, these are very common, right? That you might have heard. Then there are people who have some cognitive issues. It could be people with autism. It could be people with some mental, issues, or at times, I mean, it could also be, IQ based. Maybe my IQ is different than your IQ, and it could also be that way. So, maybe some things I don't need really detailed step. I can go to the fifth step directly. But for few people, they will need those steps to guide them. So that's why the cognitive model of in the brain of each person is different, and that's why we have to keep that as well in place. So that's a cognitive part, and then there's motor skills. People who cannot, who have, because of age or because of any other reason, their hands are shaking. Their hands vibrate. At that time, clicking, even the simplest thing of clicking or hovering, mouse hovering, is difficult for them. So we have to understand these are the different aspects how disability takes place for people, and it also hampers their experience in web or mobile both.